Greetings and salutations. Hopefully you are ready, excited, and man, first week of football is here. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I definitely caught that game last night. Uh uh okay. I did definitely predict NCCU to win. But man, that game could have got uglier than what it did. Thank goodness it didn't. But this time is our week. So we got to make sure that we're ready and that we are excited. And hopefully, I see you down in South Florida because y'all already know what's up. What it's always going to be. Thanks up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right. Greetings and salutations. Hopefully, everything's going well with you and yours. Yeah. Look, I'm kind of excited. Not going to lie to y'all. It's always good times. Hopefully, our special guest definitely joins on. For those who don't know, today our special guest, Gerald Thomas from Tallahassee Democrats, supposed to be joining us. He's coming on in about 10 minutes. But look, we're going to talk about that. We got a quarterback. Not the person I thought it was going to be, but I'm not mad at it. Look, I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want to win. So, what's up, little baby? What's up, Tamara T? What's up, Marvin? Hopefully get Gerald coming here, talk. Tell us what he saw, maybe why he thought who won or who is the starting quarterback got the start there. And yeah, as my boy would like to say. But before we do all that, let me make sure I pull this up right fast. Move the show notes over. Look, and of course I will close the show notes. That's okay. We professionals around here. So look, let's add this right here. Get that there. So, and if you know, you kind of know, a little tongue in cheek, a little joke there, but also, showing a little bit of respect to a brother and his allegiance to his organization. So, first game with the first. So, Gerald's good dude. So, Hollow, you ain't missed much. I actually was on a phone call. We trying to do a little something, shake a little something, so we can make a little something. All right. So, also, Rattler Boosters, I definitely owe somebody a phone call, but look, my parents came into town, so kind of shut it down, man. We were doing some work, doing some stuff around the house, and just enjoying being around each other. Went to the FAMU baseball game. So if you did not catch that, matter of fact, I was just gonna upload the picture, but we ain't gonna do all that. We'll just pull it up from the Twitter page. That way you can see. And it was a fun event. Let me see if I got it up there. I could have promised. There we go. So that's a picture from our seats. Good time. I'll definitely look. And I got my FAMU hat. So it's better in person. I'm not going to lie to you. What's up, J-Mac? Look, I'm just going to tell you. In person, the hat looks better. On the ad, trash. But this is our seats. Sat with the parent, mom, pops. Even brought my mini-me with me. But we did make the trip to Tampa. Shout out to the Tampa FAMU National Alumni Association. They did a great job. They were hosting, and it was a good time. So if you missed it, you definitely missed a good opportunity. Rattler kickoff was today. So we're going to, maybe see what Gerald thought about that. And don't forget, Fridays, round one with St. Clair Moraine. Got to make sure. Look, I will definitely take this moment of personal preference to make sure I shout out my girl, man. So Anaya Franklin, Ricketts High School. Her athletic director is Earl. So, got to make sure. And my mom with the Ricketts. So she's gonna get double time today, man. So, got to make sure we get that out there. Coaches, look, if you offer somebody, share a little extra information, man. I was at the baseball game, excuse me, and I ran to Charlie Ward, and I was like, hey, coach, when you offering these folks, please, HBO, help a brother out. Let somebody know who you offering. So, but Charlie Ward was really cool. It was completely organic too. It was just walking, and it was like, hey, coach, and I was like, okay. But he was really friendly, looking for some stuff, man. In all honesty, I was concerned if a QB comes in the summer missing all the spring and wins. Yeah, like I would love to hear kind of what happened there, though. And I'm not biased. Told you, I really don't care. I just needed a quarterback because I watched that game last night just like you. And if you looked at the fifth quarter page, I definitely picked North Carolina Central. Like there's, it's up there. As far as I don't know who I picked on that show the other night. Look, I was tired by that time. I'm pretty sure I said I had NCCU, but I think, and I know I give credit, and I reference and I cite my sources, but I did watch part of Scotty and Blue off script post game, and I enjoyed the part where Josh came in from HBCU Nightly and BJ came in from HBCU Nightly, and BJ was brutally honest. He was like, I ain't seen nothing much in recruiting. And I was like, I remember saying that on the Fangs Up podcast. Like, I don't know if they address their needs. They got something at quarterback, but is it enough? Like, yeah, like that's this could be a long season, or this could be the place where they make a massive change and some really good things happen. But as for me right now, for how I feel about it, I have a lot of hope for Southern. But again, I told y'all going into the season, I only had FAMU losing 2 games, and it's because I didn't know what the quarterback looked like, and it's largely because of points per game. So it's because North Carolina Central scores. Their quarterback didn't blow me away. Like I'll be honest, I'm not trying to be bandwagony or y'all know I'm definitely not that hometown guy. Like I'm not gonna tell you FAMU's gonna win when I don't believe it. Now that we got a quarterback, I got to see him a little bit more. What I saw, we'll see this weekend. That's why I purposely said I reserve judgment, but I do think he's probably a lot closer to what Southern has a quarterback, probably just a little more polished than he is to Daniel Richardson. I'll just leave that out there. Like, and RJ has no college experience. I'm a little concerned. Not much. But again, I think the offense is going to be simplified. That's my best way to put that. I think, especially for your first couple of games, I think it's going to be okay for the Howard game, just because I don't know if they have the athletes to really challenge you like that. Whereas I think for the FAU game, that might be a bloodbath. Just being honest. Look, y'all know me. I'd rather be honest and tell you the truth than to lie to you. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and be like, we're going to win every game by 40. I'm not going to say that. That's not key. Like, I will tell you the truth. But kind of looking at it, okay. All right. And before we bring in our special guest, make sure, look, I didn't get to do it last week. I was tired. But we did get some offers that came in. Jaden McDowell from South Carolina. You've been in South Carolina a lot. Look, man, there's some nice, good people on that Georgia-South Carolina border. If you know, you know. If you don't, you kind of missed it. And then we offered Jacob Brown, 6'5", 285. So, okay. I'm loving it right now, man. So I think FAMU's got some pretty good things, some cool stuff coming on. So, with no further ado, look, FAMU award-winning um, journalist extraordinaire, good brother of the first of the first. Hopefully, I'll see him in Miami this year. Look, first game, I don't know about all the games, but first game, I'm gonna try to challenge Gerald on the outfit games. I got a little something, this week. So, normally Gerald is unmatched and unchallenged outfit wise, but this week I'm gonna try to bring a little heat, man. I got a little something, that I got cooked up. So, but mentioning that, friend of the show, amazing, good brother, for the Tallahassee Democrat, 3PG. What's up, Gerald?
What's up? What's up, man? What's going on, everybody, man? Thank you for having me on, man. Football season is here. You see, I got my Florida Classic sweat on. It still got a little minute to them, but what's going on? I'm here, man.
Not much, man. Look, they must have known you was coming on tonight, because between everything, look, Colsley dropped that thing saying, "Oh yeah, we quarterback, we got one now." So,
Yeah.
how
Oh,
you
he
feel
forgot
about
about
that?
us.
Did you see that coming?
Well, first I thought Cozy forgot about us, man, but I mean, yeah, I seen it coming. I ain't really say much, but I kind of be a little tapped in on what's be going on. So I mean, when it dropped, I know it probably surprised a lot of people, but I for one wasn't surprised. Um, so yeah, so I mean, R.J. Johnson, has been a guy that's I've been hearing a lot about. Didn't get any playing time at Toledo, but I kind of went back and looked at what he did on the high school level. He threw for a lot of yards in Westlake up in Atlanta, same school Cam Newton went to actually. Rushed for a lot of yards too, so he got some wheels too. So it's gonna be interesting to see, and I wonder if it's gonna come down into if it's gonna be an in-season quarterback battle too. Um, because I think the Jet might have a little something to say about that.
Okay. Because you've been there, you've been at the games, in practice, really. So,
Yeah.
what were some of the things maybe you saw in practice that now you can share, that you were kind of like, hey, I can't announce that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I say, like I said, he's a mobile quarterback, and mobile quarterbacks are very hard to scheme against because, I mean, you got to account for another runner. So I think that's something else that kind of set him apart. Just with him and Jet, I mean, both of them are, they both got arms. They both can go for the big play. But I think being able to run the ball and also just being a little more consistent when it comes to taking care of the football. That was something that FAMU struggled with last year. Not necessarily from a quarterback standpoint, but holding on to the ball was something that it really struggled with. So it's gonna be interesting to see him play at quarterback. But like I said, I think the Jet gonna have a little something to say about that. But I mean, the biggest difference is that it's quarterback depth now. That's something that FAMU hasn't had in the past, except for when it was Moose and McKay on the same roster. So yeah, man, I'm ready to see how it's gonna play out.
Okay, and I appreciate you mentioning kind of protecting the football, man. Their running back room, it's kind of deep. Has that been something that Coach Maurice has really been heavily focused on, that you've seen in practice, like where they're saying, "Hey, ball security is job security," or is it still something that's a little flaky?
I mean, turning the ball over is something that is what had FAMU would like what running the mill in the swag and the offense. I mean, you losing possessions, and it kind of goes into FAMU there. They getting penalized a lot, but you're also losing the ball a lot. It's a lot of things that are happening that's causing you to lose games. So I mean, they got a veteran running back in Thad Franklin. He's getting all the preseason hype, preseason All American, preseason All Swag. I believe he was on the Deacon Jones Trophy Award or the HBCU National Player or something like that. So you got him, then you got Bo coming in behind him. Bo kind of another power back in my opinion. We'll see if Bo got a little faster this year, and then but also the third guy, Jamal Haley from Western Michigan, real speedy guy. So, and I can't really say too much, but I think he'll be used in multiple ways this year.
Okay, now I definitely see that myself, man.
Yeah,
I almost I almost wonder, is there going to be a little Bishop Bonnet flair to the offense? Not without, make sure I don't divulge too much of what I think,
Yeah.
and don't have what I think. Have you say something where Coach Cozy look at you on Monday and be like, "Nah, Gerald, ain't gonna happen today, player."
Yeah.
So you've been there, right? Naturally offensive line, and you kind of looking at the depth there. What's kind of some of the fun things you're seeing as far as the team coming together? Like, we're seeing the videos and all that kind of stuff, but you get to see it in person. We get to see those videos drop a little bit after. What's the team look like as far as continuity? Like, in the past, last year, they were together, but they didn't, you could tell something was a little off. Does the team seem like they've gelled better in comparison to like last year?
Yeah, I would say so just because, I mean, last year you had a first year head coach coming in and he really was trying to fill the roster all throughout the summertime. After, spring 2024, it was, you had like 50 something players participating. So this time around, you got guys who've been here since January and guys who've been here since the spring. That's it allows them to come together a little bit because, I mean, I watched the playback of what y'all said. Y'all said the Willie Simmons era is officially over. Like, it's not many holdovers left from the Coach Simmons era now. It's completely James Cole's team now. So, I mean, you got guys who coming in under this head coach, and this is the only head coach that they've played for with FAMU. So that's going to allow them to come together too. Just like I said, just not having a lot of holdovers. Not saying the holdovers were bad, but I'm just saying you were able to have guys that spent enough time instead of just trying to build up a roster. When they was getting guys during the summertime, they were trying to build up depth, but also they was trying to find a quarterback too. So, but that's just one position. But a lot of those guys they've been there, and I think that can help them a lot this upcoming season.
Okay. And if the reason y'all see so much movement is I'm making sure I got the Talents Democrat stuff up and ready so that when Gerald, make sure we showcase,
Yeah,
all of his works.
I was out of the office since Wednesday. But I still was dropping stuff. So I didn't forget about y'all. I said I know they won't want their little fix. Coming into game week.
Absolutely. And look, we about to get the game week, I'm gonna check and see, make sure I see you in Miami, because they got to make sure they take care of Gerald, but on the defensive side, right? What's that defensive line looking like? That's the big question. We watched North Carolina Central run through Southern last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the defensive line better from what you've seen?
I hope so. I mean, you got a guy that's coming back. Of course, Davion Westmoreland, he played well last year, and he's getting all the preseason hype too. But a lot of people forget about James Gardner. A lot of people forget about James Gardner. He was a preseason second team all SWAC member, guarding that other defensive end spot. You got a lot of size too. I mean, I just had one of my guys, Jerry. He covers Auburn for AL.com, and he was asking about James Ash, who transferred over there. But I mean, when I talked to Cozy about replacing a guy like James Ash, it's like you don't replace him with one person. So I mean, they got their D tackles. Nick Demetrius, he from Watts, California. So that's the guy that I expect to see some big things around, and probably even more people that I just forget about. There's so many new faces out there. From guys who maybe was on the team but didn't play much, and just guys that may be new to the team. But we gonna see what the Dark Cloud defense. I don't want to jinx them. I thought the Dark Cloud defense was going to be back last season and end up being the Sunny Sky defense. So we just got to see, because I mean, you already know what Howard about to do. Howard about to run the ball. That's what Howard do. So we're gonna see what that defensive line talking about real soon when it's time to play on Saturday.
Okay, and y'all already know my favorite player this year is Nayron Jenkins. Partially because Nayron is just like super cool, but he's not the only linebacker we got, man. How you feel about that linebacker room? Like, just because Gerald been writing, but so y'all getting a quick snippet, but if you want the full thing, Taz the Democrat online, FAMU, go subscribe.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, other linebackers, Justice Cross, he played. I think he was at Murray last year, so he was there with Coach Smitty. So I don't know how much Coach Smitty had to do with his transfer over to FAMU, but so he may know a lot about the dark cloud defense. That's the guy that I think. I want to say he played at Florida International too. Of course, before Coach Simmons got there, but he was at Murray State last year. That might be a guy that you should know about for the linebacker. Brian Norris Jr. That was a player that I was very excited to see play last year when he first transferred from USF, but ended up having a season-ending injury at training camp. And I think he's a fast dude. I want to see, how his legs are back under him after going through an injury, of that magnitude. And then we already know Nayron Jenkins, a preseason all-SWAC, first-teamer, preseason HBCU All-American. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do too, because man, Nayron, he's just a good dude, man. He out there he's actually in the FAMU's J school. So I used to see him a lot when I used to be around getting my masters and all that. So I'm excited to see what Nayron do, especially as that linebacker one for FAMU this year.
Okay, and we I ain't gonna ask you about the kicking game. We're gonna trust that, but the secondary, look. Is the secondary better? I'll leave that there. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, the secondary may have more depth this year. And like you said, you lose a guy like Kendall Bowler, you can't replace him with one player. So I mean, and I think I don't know if this is the Mandela effect, but I want to say they got guys listed as actual cornerbacks on the roster, unless I'm tripping. Unless I might just know them as cornerbacks, But I mean, you got the guy TJ Huggins coming back. Want to see how he play. Of course, last year was really his first time playing cornerback. So at times it would show. At times, of course, he would get beat by receivers, but at times he also can go up and get a pick over receiver too, and go back to his days playing receiver when he was back at Tulane and in high school down in Miami. And then you got Jamil Sanders, another guy, kind of like I don't want to call out all his positions. I don't want nobody coming after me. So, he played, everybody played defensive back. Lattimore that came from UNC Charlotte. That was the guy I got to talk to during the spring. And I know that people were excited about him. Didn't really get to play at UNC Charlotte last year, but he played JUCO at Georgia Military College over in my old neck of the woods out there in near Valdosta. So I mean they got a lot of guys that they're hype about. Simeon Hines, they got a lot of guys they hype about. So we gonna see, man. I'm really excited to see how this. I'm more excited to see how the defense is going to look more than the offense, just because man, it was rough for the defense last year, man. It just was something that we weren't accustomed to if you've been watching FAMU, just over the past few years. So I want to see if they can be able to ascend as one of those top units in the nation, especially under really an entirely new regime, for the defense. Smitty Rock gone, Milton Patterson gone. I think the only coach left on the defensive side from the Dark Cloud defense days is Cozy. So, I'm ready to see how that's gonna shake out for them.
Okay, yeah. And I see Hollow asked about the receivers. I was trying to make sure we didn't break nothing or shake nothing or say nothing, but overall, because we all have a little information and we ain't gonna say nothing. Just to jump back on that side, make sure we get Hollow's question. How you feel about the receivers?
Receivers, Goldie Lawrence. That was a guy I said over the summer that he was going to be a guy that's going to rise, be a star. He got a few touches last year and was able to, be dynamic in those. Of course, Ace Cobb, but I'm not sure if he's going to be playing this week. That's so much as I'm gonna say about that. But I mean, I think Goldie's gonna be the guy. And then Kennard Wiltshire, he played at Charles High School for a portion of his high school career, so it's kind of homecoming for him. You know, he's a fast guy. You know, FAMU is still targeting those receivers that may not be tall, but they can still burn you. You know, they got Jalen Rogers, another. They call him Speedy. So I mean, expect to see him to you know, break away. And then on the tight end, I know they got Gashawn Murtil. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right. Forget what school. Maybe he came from Tulane too. And then the guy from from Central. His name is escaping me right now. I forget the guy that came from North Carolina Central, but yeah, I think, you know, they'll have options. But I mean, I'm ready to see what kind of offense, how much are you going to be passing the ball, because we saw a team that didn't pass the ball, you know, not even 24 hours ago, and you see how it turned out for them when the second half started. So
yeah, that game was.
you know, the crazy thing,
So,
I was watching the game last night, and I was texting my friends about it, and I said Central about to turn up on them in the second half because they not throwing the ball, and that's what happened.
that time of possession for me, like just watching that game, and like I know the first half, they're like, oh, it's close, and it was back and forth. Like even that first time Southern scores is a quick change play, and
Yeah,
so their defense been on the field forever. They score real quickly on that long QB run, and it just felt like rope a dope, almost like NCCU just kept hitting them with body shots, and
yep,
then after that, halftime came back. They went over there and was like, yeah, it's over.
yeah. The 2 times Southern score was on big plays.
That's that's gonna be interesting to see
You
how that
might not
goes.
get a big play every game. So they got 2 big plays in the game. They might not get another big play for a few weeks now.
So, will you be in Miami? We gonna see Gerald there.
I will not be in Miami, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Well, I'm not sorry. I'm not the one that made the decision, but I won't be in Miami. Y'all know who to take it up with if y'all want to see me in Miami, and see if that'll change before Saturday.
Hit up the Democrat, y'all. Hit up the Democrat. Ain't like they got to pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
Only thing they got to do is cover the brother's travel.
Yep.
Look, if they get you here to Orlando, you can jump in the whip with me.
All right.
Saturday morning. Hey,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just doing turn and burn.
Right.
But mentioning that game, you know, Orange Blossom Classic. I believe the game is going to be on. It's going to be on ESPN Family Networks. They don't support this, but you know, it is what it is.
Right.
First game of the season. How you feeling about FAMU going into that game?
I feel like it's a dub for FAMU. I want to see what kind of dub it is. But I think I said this on the Orange Strike Zone a few weeks ago. If it's a L, you know, I'm worried now. But I think it's a dub for FAMU. I mean, Howard's going to come out and run the ball. It can be a similar story to this Me at Sweat challenge that we just watched, you know, last night, where a team is just trying to run the ball and they can't really pass it, and then they just get turned up on in the second half. So I mean, you're going to have your first game jitters, but you know, is how are you going to get through that? I mean, I'm not gonna come out and say, fam, you're gonna go out and just completely dominate, because I mean, I just understand, man, it's the first game of the year, under a new coaching staff, with a new quarterback, with a new look defense, with a new defensive coordinator, with a new special teams coordinator, with a new offensive coordinator. So, but I do want to see. I expect to win, but I want to see what kind of win it is. Is it going to be an ugly win? Is it going to be raining in Miami like it was a few years ago? You know, but so yeah. But I expect it to be a win. If I'm FAMU, I'm feeling confident going into it. But like I said, Howard had FAMU on the ropes. You know, a 12-win FAMU team. They had a 12-win FAMU team on the ropes a couple years ago. So if you out there making mistakes, Howard gonna make you pay for it. You know, out there. So, but I fully expect a win for FAMU this Saturday.
Okay. We're not gonna carry you through every season, you know, every game of the season.
Yeah.
But WL wise, how you feeling this team finishes up this year? You feeling Celebration Bowl, or, you know, just in the mix?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you're getting an exclusive right now, because I haven't really said this out in the open, but I think FAMU goes 8-4 this year. I think they go 8-4. You want to know the losses?
Sure, yeah. Give me your 4 L's.
All right, man. I think I might get some hate mail for these right here. Of course, FAU is a loss. I'm going to put it out there. I think North Carolina Central will be an L. But hold on. Before I say this, before this get clipped and all that, this is subject to change right here. This is subject to change. This is subject to change. But I think North Carolina Central, man, they just good. They good every year. Like, but if FAMU come out blowing people out, I got to keep contextualizing because I know somebody might clip this up and be like, you said this, you said that. If FAMU coming out beating people by 50, then I'm changing my answer.
Same.
But I think North Carolina Central, man, I think they can come in and win. Who I had? So I got North Carolina Central, FAU. Man, I'm not gonna lie, they didn't impress me last night, but something about that Southern game is just something to look out for because it's not even just. I'm not saying Southern is a better team, but you going to Southern this time, and remember last time you went to Southern, it was hard fought. Southern turned the lights off going into the fourth quarter. And on top of that, man, I'm like, man, Southern is due for a win over FAMU.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
They haven't beat FAMU in like a decade.
Yeah. I say the same about Alabama State, but I think FAMU beat Alabama State. So I'm nervous about the Southern game. And then Jackson, man. Jackson. I got to see how Jackson looking. Like, these answers are subject to change, but just right now, before seeing everybody play, I'll say 8-4, but 8-4 can easily jump to 9-3, 10-2, one of those type of years. So, I mean, you go 8-4. I mean, it's so much parity in the SWAC. You can go 8-4 and possibly get into the SWAC championship. You just gotta just hope, one of them teams in the East lose 2 games. Because I mean, that's 2 L's in the SWAC that I'm calling. So you gotta hope they lose 3 times. Yeah, so 8-4 might put you out, but you gotta go. Yeah, for you to have a chance, you gotta at least go 9-3. But right now, I'm gonna say 8-4, and like I said, that can easily change after I see everybody go out and play. Because if Jackson go out and getting burned by everybody, I'm changing my answer.
And I did the same thing. I think the only game we differed on was Southern. I got us beating Southern. Their defense line suspect, and I hope none of their if one of their fans is watching, they're gonna clip this and then they're gonna show it to the team as bulletin board. But I feel like they're suspect. But you know what? Your own Southern person and Southern graduate said y'all was suspect. So I'm not cracking on you, and I'm not saying something that nobody else said.
And Southern usually have one of the top defenses in the nation. Like they're usually up near that top 2 with FAMU and Alabama State. In recent years, I don't know what was, but I mean, sure, just like last year when FAMU was playing Norfolk, we thought it was just a 1-game thing and ended up being a season-long thing. So I don't know if Southern got new coordinators or anything, but I mean, they did look rough against that Russian game last night. But I mean, I'm not. The Southern game made me a little nervous. I'm not necessarily scared of them, but I mean, I just think, man, they might just be due for one. Especially going to Baton Rouge. I mean, that's a hard place to play at. So yeah.
One way in, one way out, Doc. Yeah. Once you get across that bridge, it's over.
Right.
So now, one thing Gerald don't always tell y'all, I hadn't seen it yet, so I'm waiting on it. Normally, and I tell y'all, Gerald's fashionable, man. Normally, Gerald do like a little uniform rating. Can you give me your best and your worst uniform this year? You ain't got to give it a whole list. I don't want to ruin the article, but your favorite uniform combination and your least favorite.
My favorite uniform combination is the all whites. Never, that answer never gonna change. I love the all whites. The worst one, you already know what my worst one is. The orange tops with the green pants. The orange helmets with the orange jersey and the green pants. Cause I know people was like, yeah, they used to wear it like that in the Billy Joe era. They'll make the same uniforms though. The orange helmets with the orange jersey, green pants. Only thing that might can make them worse is if you wore the white helmets with them. Now you're just trying to get every color in the mix. So yeah, all whites. And I love the all orange homecoming vibes. I like the orange, green, orange, but that orange, green,
Gerald said not it.
retired.
I ain't gonna
Retired.
lie. The new green, the ones from last year, I don't like them.
Oh
colors with the white stripes.
yeah.
I can't stand
I'm
them.
not gonna lie.
Bring back that green one.
I might be the minority on this. All right. The new ones with the orange on the side, I ain't really that high on them neither. I'm not that high, and I mean, they better than the white stripes, but I'm not that big on them like that. Like I wouldn't be sad if I didn't see them this year.
Not at all. No, I think the one from the Celebration Bowl is my favorite green uniform we've had in a long time. It's just clean.
Yeah.
It just looks sharp. It looks sharp.
Right. Yeah. I don't think you need the stripes and all that. I want to see how I look with the orange hats and the orange pants. So maybe it might depend on how you style it up. But yeah, them orange greens. It's like, never mind. I was about to talk about the mac and cheese, but I don't think nobody ever heard me say that on the live form. So I ain't even gonna say it.
And look, Jared can tell you about that 220 mac and cheese, boy.
Yeah.
So, and I'm only gonna hold you for a little bit longer. Look, y'all know we'll go forever. Charlie Ward, I got to meet him on Friday. You know, you definitely probably had more interactions than I have. And Coach Pressure, you know, and we got FAMU volleyball started today. What was that, today or yesterday?
I think today.
Yeah. How you feeling about FAMU basketball right now? You know, they got a couple games in my area, so I got to make sure I set my stuff in, trying to go to Orlando and the Tampa games. But how you feeling about it this year when you kind of look at where they were last year and everything like that?
Yeah, I actually got a chance to stop by and see both teams over the summer. Excuse me. I talked to Jaquan Sanders from Hofstra, also played at Seton Hall, and was Mr. Basketball in New York during his time in high school. And talked to Jordan Chapman, a guy who, you know, decided to come back out of the transfer portal. And you know, they talked about just being able to, everybody was buying into what Coach Charlie Ward is doing. And I mean, during that time, when there's some of that, I didn't know they was out here, you know, trying to get 4 and 5 stars on the team for next year. You know,
Coach really recruiting.
Yeah, he out there. He out there for real. I'm not sure where the guy from Tennessee stands right now, but I know he had him in the top 7. I think he might have a visit coming up if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, he out there recruiting. Then he got the 4-star from where the guy from Orlando. Where you from? The 4-star
from Miami. There's one from Orlando that goes to Olympia, and there's like a 6'10" center from Miami he just offered too.
Yeah, but they got the guy that committed. The 4-star Jaden Joseph. I forget where he's from. I think he's from somewhere in Florida. I think he bounced around the schools. So they don't tell him where the man go to school at now. But I know where he going to school at when he started college. So you know he committed. I knew Charlie Ward was going to be able to recruit. I didn't know he was going to be recruiting that caliber. And I mean, man, has FAMU ever had a 4-star come to the team? Like, you know, that might be history right there. I mean, just him committing. You got to hold the commitment stick. You know, you can't count your eggs before they hatch. You know how they go around here. So, yeah. So I mean, I expect big things. It may not be a crazy good season the first year, just because I mean, first year head coach type of things. But you know, I'm interested to see that. And then on the women's basketball side, Coach Gordon, she's talked about how she kind of finally got able to have a complete team of players that she's brought in. So, you know, women's basketball is, you know, it's about time for a breakthrough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, Coach Gordon, she's got them better than where they was before she got there, but it's time for them to, you know, go to the SWAC tournament, win a game, win 2 games, get to the semifinals. You know, it's time for that. And I'm ready to see, you know, how Coach Gordon does that with players that, you know, she's gotten the chance to bring in. So, I mean, I think FAMU basketball got a little bit more buzz last season. So we'll see, how the hype continues to build with a guy like Charlie Ward on the men's side, and then Coach Gordon coming back for a third season on the women's side. It could make for some good basketball. On the highest of seven hills. We haven't really seen that good of basketball in recent years. Had a good season by the men last year, so but you lost your young up and coming head coach. So we're ready to see how it shake out for everybody.
Man, no, I appreciate it, Gerald, man. And for those who don't know, look, this brother just said, "Hey, I took a vacation," but he's still dropping heat. Like, this is the Talent Democrats website. Look, and you can literally scroll down and see Gerald's work. Me personally, I tend to look on Twitter, and when Gerald drops and says he's dropped it, that's when I make sure I, retweet and everything like that. But everything FAMU, we y'all know we don't work in a vacuum here. We all work together. And when I tell you, Gerald be dropping heat, and I'll be talking to my parents, and they'll be like, "Yeah, da 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 da." And my mom is, "Yeah, your friend, he dropped up, man. It was really good. I like it, man. Tell him I appreciate it." So Rattler Nation appreciates it. But Gerald's literally like been dropping heat and making sure y'all kind of paying attention. And it's up to date too. So you can kind of talk about some of that work that you've been doing with the Democrat, providing all that heat.
Yeah. Because I know when I graduated from FAMU, everybody was saying I was in the portal. I'm still sitting here. So, but it's just, just having good news judgment. I'm not gonna lie, that story with Johnson was already written days ago. I was expecting the announcement on Wednesday when everybody else was. But yeah, that story was written. Well, I had it written two different ways. But yeah, that story was already written. I just had to hit publish on that one. And, we got the message, that it was going to announce it. But it just, just kind of, I've been around the block now. So, this about to be my fourth football season right here, which is crazy to say. Sometimes I feel like I just got to Tallahassee, when I was 24 years old when I got here, just turned 24 years old. And now I'm sitting here 27, probably a few years away from fatherhood and marriage and stuff like that. But, it's been a good ride. It's been a good ride. Just, kind of being able to see the progressions go through with FAMU, and just continuing to meet people, continue to meet new athletes, continue to meet new coaches, and you meet people like Charlie Ward. I tell my people that I met Charlie Ward like my second month here when I first moved to Tallahassee, and I during that time I never expected him to be the men's basketball coach. I met him at his Father's Day camp. The first Father's Day camp he did, I was there covering it over at Florida High. So it's just crazy to see how it was a full circle moment. How I went and met a legend like that, and now he's he coming to my neck of the woods now. I'm covering FAMU over here, and now he want to come get covered by me. But also other coaches like Coach Willie Simmons. Coach Willie Simmons, he's a guy that was very inviting. Because when I got here, I didn't really know what to expect. It was my first time really covering. It was my first time covering Division I college, especially on a full-time capacity. But I didn't really know what to expect, and he was very inviting. We had our discussions, and he gave me, just gave me just a green light just when anything. Always picked up my calls, always to take interviews, everything, athletes. You already know my favorite athlete of FAMU all time, Xavier Smith, Mr. Get everything you deserve. I was just talking to a friend of mine about Xavier, and I was just like, man, I'm just so happy for him. That was a guy that went to the NFL. I'm happy for all the guys. I say, man, just something about Xavier. That dude, he's just special, man. A very good guy. Me and him, we the same age, graduate high school the same year. So just seeing him, go to the NFL and doing big things, it just makes me happy, man. So everybody just been very inviting. People been enjoying my work. Some people don't enjoy my work. I still get hate mail every now and then, but But just gonna keep on keeping on. Excited to see how this season goes. Of course, last season wasn't the season that everybody expected or wanted, but I don't know. I think this year might be a little better. And just ready, man. It's a lot of good games in Bragg this year. I'll tell you that much. My family hit me up and asked me what was the good games to come to this year, and I was like, what game isn't a good game to come to? Every game good this year. You got with Central and Jackson and Alabama State and Alcorn. I'm like, man, hey, it's gonna be a fun season, man. It's gonna be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be fun. It's only one game and it's not even that it's not fun. It's just not a Division I opponent, and that's Albany State. But even still, that's got a good storyline.
Yeah. All them people from Albany, they coming to Tallahassee too. It's Albany right down the road. When I was in Valdosta, we used to go get turned up in Albany sometime. So I know how to get down. I know how to get down in Albany a little bit. So I know they're gonna be turned up. They're gonna be going to top flight after the game. The game going a little too late for me, so I probably ain't gonna worry going home at the top flight. I don't be up that late no more like that. So, but yeah, man. I mean, it's a Division II opponent, but I still expect the environment to be electric, especially with it being a home opener and being an opponent of close proximity too.
Definitely. Now we got to figure out which game going to be our top flight game this year. So I've never done top flight before. I'm Tallahassee local, Tallahassee native, and look, Gerald beat me to the top flight. So we got to figure out. It's definitely not going to be homecoming.
Oh yeah,
won't not be doing homecoming on top flight.
Won't be homecoming. They be tripping at the door for homecoming. It won't be homecoming.
No.
Yeah.
maybe Jackson or NCCU, depending. Yeah. I might need it at the NCCU.
Yeah. Especially one of them games is early kickoff, so you got time to, change and head there.
Get fresh, get back.
Me personally, I pack my clothes in the car. I don't play around.
I can't say much. If I'm going out and doing stuff, I definitely do that, man.
Yeah.
So we got our flight. We're gonna figure out our flight game. We'll talk about that first game of the season. But we know it's not gonna be homecoming. This year, are we gonna see Gerald doing a little bit more as far as out there pregame meals? I know, he was, trying to head over to Paris Street sometimes, trying to find out some of the local food spots, so y'all gotta help Gerald out. Tell him where to get the good food at too.
Yeah, and if you got it, and if you have tailgates, hit me up so I can come try something. If you got a tailgate, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be hungry before the game, so just letting y'all know. If y'all wonder if I'm hungry, I am. But yeah, man, but of course I'm gonna hit Perry Street. I'm gonna try to catch up with the Comp Man Conway. I went to him last year for homecoming, I think. I tried to go a few weeks ago, man. The line was just too long. I said, man, and it was hot outside. I said, man, shoot, man, it's too hot. But I'm gonna try to catch him before a game too. So yeah, man, I'm gonna still be eating. I'll be trying to watch my diet a little bit. I done lost a little bit of weight since the last season, and I'm probably about 15 pounds lighter now. But yeah, if you got a tent, let me know. And if I find out you got a tent and you don't let me know, it's gonna be an issue. Everybody else gonna get the storage for free. You gonna be a paywall for you in front of every store.
So definitely, when you come through, look, if you see Gerald in the stadium parking lot, just hit him with the wave. Hit him with the wave to come on over. Talk for a little bit, share some food.
Yeah, I might even give you some intel on the team. I might even give you some exclusive information on the team. If you bring me to the tailgate. But if I find out you holding out on me, they ain't getting nothing.
we got to get Gerald up there on the hill with Earl and them one time.
Yeah, Earl looked out. Earl looked out. So I give Earl. Yeah, shout out to Earl. Earl, look out, man.
Earl, stay looking out. Be like, hey, just swing by. Like, it's a couple tents I hit. A couple tents. Couple. Of course, one of my frat brothers, my Sands, he got a tailgate. So I stopped by. I don't even be trying to eat. And he'd be like, man, you got to get something to eat. I'd be like, after that second no, look, I got to get a plate.
Yeah. Did you see Johnson is one of your guys too? Did you know that?
I did not, but look, that's always great news. Look, it will definitely be on the Pyramids and Diamonds page pretty soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Look, Gerald, I appreciate you coming through. I don't hold you too long. I
Yes,
definitely
sir.
got you, definitely got you here. And Gerald was supposed to come last week, but I ain't gonna lie, I was under the weather. So I was like, hey, can we reschedule next week? He's like, surely. So definitely appreciate it. And y'all always know, look, I appreciate Gerald. And even to the point to where, as you saw the show title, a little tongue-in-cheek, little poke at him being a good brother of Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes,
Had
sir.
some of y'all come to the golf tournament last week, and they did their thing, man.
Yes,
A couple of them rattlers, and my wife's best friend, her son, he is in a YMOD, so I had to stop by and let them know, like, they're doing a good work over there, man. So as much as we tried and everything else, man, y'all know it's nothing but love from all of us, man. So, but Gerald, tell everybody how they can find you, where they can find your work, and how they can support. That's the key thing. How they can support.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll say, all my stuff go on Twitter. My Twitter is 3PG. I don't really feel like spelling it today, but I will. Number 3, letter P, letter E, letter A, letter T, letter G, letter E, letter E. But if you want to go straight to the Tallahassee Democrat page, just type in rattlernews.com and all of the FAMU coverage will come up. Everything that I'm out there covering will come up on the Tallahassee Democrat page. That's the straight to FAMU coverage. You don't got to go through and look at no homepage or nothing. They take you straight to FAMU, rattlernews.com. And I mean, how to support, just to continue reading my stuff. Give me some feedback. If you got any story ideas, any good story ideas. Some people be coming with some stuff crazy. But we got any story ideas, my email public. My email public. I don't hide. So you can send it to me, send me a DM on Twitter or anything. But yeah, just to continue just to read it. I mean, I want this FAMU coverage to be one of the best in the country. And I mean, I'm a 4-time award-winning journalist, so I got 4 of them things. So what that tell you? It's a lot of places that's covering Power 5 that can't say that. So yeah, just continue just to read my stuff and share it, and share it with friends, share it to your line brothers, your line sisters, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, everybody. So yeah, man, just keep supporting and yeah, man, everything will be all gravy from this end.
And that's his Twitter page right there, the 3PG page. So you can see, and he reminds you, first of the first, so
Yes, sir.
But man, Gerald, again, thanks for coming on, man. I ain't gonna lie, bother to tell us Democrat, because I'm mad that Gerald is not gonna be at the game. Look, I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. Look, I got my outfit planned out. I was like, hey, I'm gonna at least try to compete with Gerald. Like, I ain't gonna keep up with him, but I'm gonna try to compete. And Gerald does, he is fly. Like, he definitely he have his outfits. You be like, all right, Gerald. He be flying the games.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man,
sir. Yeah,
I
I wish I was in Miami, but man, like I said, y'all know what to do.
I like the Democrat, man. Look, if you need some pictures, you already know. I'll be there. And I will definitely be recording the post game. So it's always fun times.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Gerald, we're gonna let you go before we get up out of here real quick.
All right, y'all. Hey, man, thank you for having me, man. And let's see how this season gonna shake out, man. I'm excited to see it. It's game week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look, man. Big shout out to Gerald for coming on. Thank you as always, man. Y'all know I'm selective with my guests, just because hey, I feel like we got to make sure we protect FAMU. But when you got good people, I see Brian in the chat. Y'all already know that we definitely got to welcome on and definitely try to have a little preseason. Like, hey, how you feeling? What's going on? Again, make sure y'all support. See Mike Road Dog in the chat. I forgot to turn it on. I ain't gonna lie. I saw it. I meant to show the comments. But support Mike Road Dog. Y'all already know, if you are going to the FAMU game that is against Southern, it's a little package deal they got going where you can go watch the Rattlers and the Jaguars in Baton Rouge on Saturday. Then that Sunday, head down to New Orleans and you can catch them, just looking out. Go just check Mike out. We'll drop that on our social media platforms to make sure everybody's got that. And we'll have the ad up there ready for y'all. Look, it's 9:00. Y'all know what's up, man. Thursday, we will be back here and getting y'all ready, man. I'm reach out to my friends for the Fangs Exchange. See if we can do a little joint party right before the game. A little short something, not a long something, but have a little fun something. All right, y'all. For everybody here at HBCU Digital Network and Gerald, look, we look forward to seeing y'all Thursday here on HBCU Network. And then Saturday, we will be down in Miami. We will record the post game, and then as fast as we can, reasonably, we'll upload it and have it ready for you to go. So, hey, hopefully it don't take too long. If it does, blame the internet because right after the game, after the post game, we headed back here. So, you already know what's up, what it's always going to be. Fangs up.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started. Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes!